Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Highlighter. In today's video, we're diving into a wild recap of 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days Season 7, Episode 13, trust us, things get messy as one couple realizes that online love doesn't always translate to the real world. From scammers to some seriously cringy moments, this episode had it all. So, let's break it down. 90 Day Fiancé's Lauren proposed marrying Faith's mom. Faith and Lauren had a conversation about the future of their relationship while sharing a meal. Although Faith had told her family that their bond was purely platonic, Lauren wondered if they could rekindle their romantic relationship. "I'm here only for you in the Philippines, and I love you so much. So, am I still just friend Lauren, or can I be boyfriend Lauren?" he asked. Faith agreed to give dating another try, which led Lauren to immediately suggest they marry in Thailand, where same-sex marriage is legal, in order to bypass the Philippines' restrictive laws. He even floated the idea of marrying Faith's mother to secure Filipino citizenship. "I came here to build a future with Faith, and as much as I want to be happy, we're on a tight timeline," Lauren explained to producers. "We need to start planning what comes next." Later, Lauren and Faith returned to her home, where they joined her family for karaoke. During the fun, Lauren shared his ideas about marrying Faith, as well as the notion of possibly marrying her mother, which made the family visibly uncomfortable. 90 Day Fiancé's Ingrid is shocked to learn Brian's been married 4 times. After Ingrid's declaration that she wasn't anyone's babysitter, Brian became concerned that his potential partner didn't fully grasp the responsibilities that might come with marrying him. Later, Brian and Ingrid met up with a friend of Brian's for drinks in Brazil. During the night out, Brian's friend asked him if it was more difficult to get divorced in America than it is to separate here in Brazil, to which Brian replied, "Chicago is easier. It's an easier process." He then told Ingrid in Portuguese that he had been through the divorce process 3 times. Brian shared that his most recent ex-wife had been using him for a green card and was refusing to sign the divorce papers. Ingrid was shocked to learn that Brian had been married 4 times, not just twice as she had initially believed. One of those marriages had been to a woman from Brazil, whom he had married while living in Recife, the city they were currently visiting. "I mean, she never really asked how many times I've been married, so I never lied about it," Brian explained in a private confessional. "But I don't understand why it matters. I wish she would judge me for my current actions and not my past." Brian felt it was Ingrid's responsibility to inquire about his previous relationships and insisted that he hadn't lied to her. 90 Day Fiancé's Vanya and Bozo are still in the friend zone. In episode 12, fans watched as Vanya stormed out of the restaurant after meeting Bozo's friends. "First, he tells me I'm just a friend. Then he says, we'll see if the physical develops or not." "What's going on?" Vanya told producers, fighting back tears. "I just feel like I was played for a fool." Inside, Bozo's friends praised Vanya, calling her amazing, and questioned why he didn't have any romantic feelings toward her. Bozo explained that he simply does not feel it, and apologized for not being able to change his emotions. He then stepped outside to speak with Vanya, but she refused to engage with him, stating that he didn't deserve her attention. Vanya spent the night alone in her rental, while Bozo returned the next day to discuss the events. The belly dancer immediately confronted him, asking why he claimed to love her if he didn't truly feel that way. Bozo initially denied ever saying it, but Vanya pulled up a text message to prove otherwise. "That's so me," he laughed, looking at the message. Bozo admitted that while he had intended to date Vanya, he just didn't feel any chemistry in person. After Vanya seemingly ended the relationship, Bozo offered to remain friends, but she declined, saying she wasn't interested. 90 Day Fiancé's Niles felt scammed by Matilda. Niles and Matilda were preparing to perform a traditional knocking ceremony, a custom where Niles must ask a family friend of his future wife to stand in for his parents. Matilda introduced Niles to Mr. Ark, and Niles immediately felt he may have offended him by mistakenly attempting to shake his prosthetic hand. Mr. Ark agreed to represent Niles' father, but insisted that the marriage take place right after the knocking ceremony, rather than during a return trip to Ghana. "The thing is, I'm not ready to get married yet. I'll have to come back on the next trip," Niles explained. Mr. Ark, however, shook his head and replied, "No, no, no, I will never allow that. You have to do everything now or nothing." Confused, Niles questioned why Matilda's family had approved the ceremony if it wasn't in line with their own culture. He also inquired about the large amount of food and gifts Matilda had asked him to buy for the event. Mr. Ark explained that such lavish demands were not part of the tradition, leading Niles to wonder if Matilda might be trying to scam him. He also learned that the knocking ceremony ceremony was typically a much smaller affair, leaving him feeling misled by Matilda. Despite his concerns, Matilda stood her ground, assuring Niles that she loved him for who he was, not for his money.